Hi everyone, Alan Lepovsky here from Constellation Research, and I'm here in San Francisco for 2 days for a intense Salesforce Analyst Summit where they're teaching us everything we need to know about the upcoming year with Salesforce. And what I want to do is take you through a quick overview of the things you need to know about them. So sit back, and I hope this information is useful for you.
So for those of you that are unfamiliar with Salesforce, or maybe just have the history of thinking about Salesforce as a CRM company or customer relationship management, sort of used by sales reps to manage their leads and opportunities and sales pipeline, the company has, vastly evolved what they produce over the years. If you see here on the left, they have what they call their clouds. Essentially, who cares? That's marketing. Don't call it a cloud. It's their products, as it says here. There's the sales. They do service, so customer service, so opening support tickets and customer complaints and feedback and things like that. Marketing, so launching email campaigns and social media monitoring. Community, which is where their collaboration software takes place, so sort of my primary focus area. So things like Salesforce Chatter and communities inside for employees and communities external for engagement with your customers and your prospects and things like that. Analytics, applications, and IoT. I'm going to talk about those in just a moment. So, I also wanted to point out that they do have some very specific industry focuses. So we mentioned if you think about CRM as sales reps looking at prospects, well, extrapolate that to things like healthcare, where instead of a sales rep, it's a doctor. And instead of a customer, it's a patient. So Salesforce has the ability to highly customize based on specific industries. Now, you're going to hear a lot of terminology from Salesforce, so I wanted to take a moment and try to clear up some of those things. They like to use the word lightning right now. Lightning is essentially the user experience or the look and feel of the modernization of the Salesforce tools. So basically, this allows developers to build Salesforce applications or Salesforce themselves to make their applications have this new modern look. They've created components and a designer client that allows you to drag and drop and add things. And this is the way you're going to build things on the Salesforce platform. And any of them that have that new look are going to be called Lightning. You will also hear them talk about Thunder. And Thunder is the event processing engine for their Internet of Things. So event processing engine means data comes in, they figure out what to do with it. So here you see in this picture, wind turbines sending information. It could be sensors in shopping malls. It could be, data like your fitness tracker sending information. So Thunder allows information to come in, and then they figure out how to process that information and give you real-time insight about what's happening. The next would be Wave. You're going to hear the name Wave a lot. Wave is their analytics platform. So Wave allows you to create dashboards and see trending data and at a glance have highly visual feedback about the things that are happening in your Salesforce environment. A little bit complicated, but you're going to hear the term SalesforceOne. SalesforceOne was sort of a year or two ago what they referred to their platform as. They've kind of deviated away from that a bit, and that's where you're hearing things like Lightning more. SalesforceOne is kind of now their mobile application. So instead of just having, going to the App Store and looking for Salesforce, you look for SalesforceOne, and there's not a different application for each of the clouds. There's not a SalesforceOne app for CRM and not a SalesforceOne app for marketing and on and on. The SalesforceOne mobile app, that's sort of, I guess, where the name comes from. It's one user experience for everything that you're doing. So it's SalesforceOne. On the collaborations side, this is where I was mentioning, my main coverage area. Chatter is their enterprise social network. So think of it as, like a Twitter-like feed inside your organization. You can see here people are typing away. The important thing about Chatter is that it isn't mainly used as a standalone product. So, few customers are going to come to Salesforce and just want to use Chatter. What Chatter does is it embeds collaboration across all of the different types of records they have. So if you're talking about a customer, or if you're talking about a marketing campaign, or if you're talking about a customer support trouble ticket, that's where people can, instead of going back and forth in a separate tool, or using email, or using chat, or instant messaging, Chatter enables collaboration right on the record that you're talking about. And I think that's a very important fact about what Salesforce does. There are community clouds. I mentioned you can use communities inside to create places for your employees to discuss topics or locations or trends or projects or any of the things you're going to use for communities, as well as creating external communities for brands where they can engage with their customers. So where customers can ask questions or learn more about products or ask other questions about, or ask other customers questions about feedback on products and things. In this community cloud and as well as in Chatter, they have their own product called Salesforce Files. Salesforce Files is a pretty advanced file cloud sync and sharing product in that, yes, you can use it like some of their competitors, Box or Dropbox or others, but Salesforce Files takes it one step further and allows you through Salesforce Files Connect to actually have repositories from all different sources showing up in one user interface. So you can see here in the middle of the screen here, I'm in Salesforce Files, but I'm seeing Microsoft OneDrive, and I'm seeing SharePoint, and I'm seeing Google Drive, and there's support for Box and Dropbox and other sort of files here as well. So that is Salesforce Files and Salesforce Communities. Now, a product many of you may not know about is something called Salesforce IQ, which is via an acquisition of a company called Relate IQ. This is sort of the evolution of what that is. It's a little confusing because it's sort of two products in one. It's a CRM package for small customers that aren't as wanting to use the full Salesforce Sales Cloud. But what's interesting to me is the second half of this is it's actually the integration of intelligence, sort of sales intelligence, inside your email and your calendar. So what they do is, I think there's a screenshot here. So when I'm inside my calendar or inside my email, they've created their own email client for you. So you connect your Exchange or Gmail to this. And when you're looking at an email message, it parses out the names and the companies and all the things that Salesforce has data on. So you can see all of the interactions your company has had with that company that the sender is from. You can see the past relationships you've had with the senders or the people copied on that email, when the last time you interacted with them, etc. So they add a layer of intelligence to the most common tool we all use today, our email, and that's coming soon also to calendars. So that's something called Salesforce IQ, and for me, this is a huge part of what they're doing in 2016, and something that I want you all to keep sort of an eye on. It's how do we bring intelligence and automation and sort of filtering and actionable insights to the tools that we use every day, and Salesforce is doing a good job of that. Now, finally, a big thing I mentioned earlier, Thunder, but the Internet of Things is an area that Salesforce is, diving fully into, and it's going to be a main area you're going to hear them talk about in 2016. And essentially think of this as, how can you have sensors and beacons and monitors on all sorts of devices, so things like the wind turbines that we're showing here, products in the supply chain, thermometers at home, your thermostats at home, your car, products on the shelves inside your store, everything you can possibly imagine. How can you track information about that and then use that in a more collaborative and sales oriented way? How can you find out information and make more actionable decisions? And that is something that Salesforce really is putting a lot of effort behind, is how can we take all of these processes, sales, marketing, customer support, collaboration, and sort of move them to the next level by having many, many inputs coming from different sensor data. So again, I think this is something that you should pay a lot of attention to. So that's a quick overview of Salesforce, the various products that they sell and some things that they're working on for 2016. In a nutshell, I think the most important thing about Salesforce is that they have those customer records or product records or customer support ticket records or marketing campaign records. All these things over here, sales, service, marketing, community. Any of the collaboration that is going to take place is going to take place around one of these objects. And I think this is one of the competitive advantages a company like Salesforce has. There are others that do this. So SAP with their Jam product has collaboration built into all of their business processes. You're going to see Infor with Mingle built in, Oracle Social Network built into the Oracle products. But over a lot of the other sort of name brand collaboration products, this is where Salesforce is really going to excel. It's going to allow you to share and collaborate and work on projects based around real use cases. You hear me often talk about the term purposeful collaboration, and that's exactly what Salesforce does. They give you the ability to collaborate around a sales pipeline, to collaborate around a service trouble ticket, to collaborate around a marketing campaign, to collaborate around questions and answers and knowledge and things that are happening inside communities. And they empower all that with an analytics platform called Wave. They allow you to build custom applications around it and give you this new user experience called Lightning. And they're allowing you to start to embed sensor data and all sorts of feedback into that via IoT and their Thunder product. So strong offerings from Salesforce. And if there's any questions I can answer for you, please reach out. This is Alan Lepofsky from Constellation Research, and I hope this has helped you understand Salesforce.